If you only knew the power of the dark side, it is your destiny.
Hello everyone, this is Take the Gate. It is October 2nd, 2014, and I'm bringing you an article from FortWayneHomepage.net in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And this hospital is the first hospital in Indiana to have a police department. And what does this mean for the future? Well, this could be the future of the police here, where people are coming into the hospital addicted to substances and no one is arresting them. But if there was a police officer in the hospital and the safety of the workers are concerned, they don't have to call the police and wait for them to arrive or have them on site. They can just have a police department in the station, so when you get brought in on overdose, they can just book you and throw you in jail and in a cage for nonviolent crime. So the very first police department at a hospital in the state of Indiana is right here in Summit City at Parkview Hospital. On Wednesday, 19th, police officers sworn in after 2 years of discussion to form the Parkview Health Police Department. So here we go, a morphing into the police state of the healthcare industry, which may or may not be used to round up people who do not agree to vaccinations. I'd also like to point out this is written by Isabella Moller, or Saul, a combination of both of these. So it says also that the Indiana State Senator Dennis Cruz said the discussion had many amendments, but now the department will protect everyone at the hospital, from employees to visitors. We have a different world we live in today, and these people are willing to interrupt things by fighting and gun or knife or whatever it may be, said Cruz. Cruz added, I come to the hospital, I want to feel safe, and so I think it was wise in today's world that we have police forces. So, police forces, not to serve and protect, police force. So the application of police as a brutality organization. Cruz said that the new department hopes that more hospitals will add this force to their health department. So there you have it. Instead of having an organization which is supposed to follow the Hippocratic Oath, they can now have people shot and arrested in the same spot that they're supposed to be healing people. Let's go to this other article here out of Pennsylvania. So you get sick, you go to this. And here we have an article off of Jezebel. And this is, heroin is easier to get than wine and cheaper than beer in Pennsylvania. So undoubtedly that they've made this happen after making sure that the pharmaceutical market for certain pharmaceutical drugs, such as Oxycontin, cocaine, methamphetamines, and others, are hard to get, even if they were by prescription, and their pharmaceutical cousins, prescription drugs, people addicted to them turn to heroin. And as a result, you have this now coming out of Pennsylvania. This is written by C.A. Pinkham, and a Pennsylvania state report released past week claims that heroin is now easier to obtain in that state when wine and cheaper than beer in rural Pennsylvania. This is not just in Pennsylvania, this is across the country where this is happening. And it comes from the Center for Rural Pennsylvania. A joint legislative state agency claims that you can get small packets of heroin between $5 and $10 across Pennsylvania, which I did not know was a thing. So we're not talking about, she says, specifically urban areas here, Cambria County. To use one example, drug overdose rates are 22.6% of deaths per 100,000 people, equal to Philadelphia's rate. And it says, how can heroin be easily obtainable on the other hand? Have you ever been to rural Pennsylvania? It is not pleasant. Here's a partial list of billboards that were driven past, and a picture of a clown with a caption that he believes in global warming, Lady Gaga, sunsetting with cold eyes forever, fetus billboards, blah, 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 and high poverty rates. And the carcass of what used to be there, the people that are left over and haven't moved out, had no means to move out to the city and are stuck in the rural Pennsylvania areas, have no opportunities, and so they turn to drugs in the high poverty areas with what little that they can afford. And the end result are smashed lives by design, where the state comes in and then victimizes you for shooting yourself up to escape. I'm not saying rightly or wrongly that this may or may not lead to further crimes, but when we are not treating these people with things like kratom, this is what happens. And I just want to give you a better example, a better picture of Pennsylvania, because they are now catching on to this. So if you get criminalized by an overdose, you can then be arrested by a police officer. And Pennsylvania is now granting officers a drug that will reduce overdoses and reverse the overdoses. And this is on the Lancaster Online, and is written by Karen SHUEY, a staff writer. And she is saying that Pennsylvania and 25 other states are granting easier access to this drug, Narcan. And you inject the drug into the person's bloodstream and their overdose symptoms go away. So the poison will have no effect on them and they can survive the overdose. And this is going to Tom Corbett for a signature. The Senate Bill 1164 would allow him to save or implement the police to save lives by carrying this narcotic killer needle drug, whatever you want to have it, to stop opiate overdose. Narcan, naloxone, or these types of drugs. There's a few other ones, I think, but I'm not entirely sure about that. But a long-term solution is needed, not a short-term solution, because this person's going to survive, they're going to not go on treatment, and they're going to recidivize themselves back into doing drugs. And that's what addiction is. If you put somebody on kratom, it alleviates their symptoms because it's manageable at that point, and it blocks those receptors that are occupied by the kratom, and it's a psychoactive effect, and it is not addictive, so that a person who uses kratom can just stop using it after a period of time in that type of treatment. And I think that's a better solution than what they have, and they are dehumanizing people and trampling on their given rights to do what they want with their own bodies, not unlike women and women's sex and health needs. So I will leave links to these under description in the comments below, and I will let you guys take a look at these stories. Maybe you guys should tell me what you think, but I don't always get comments. But that's neither here nor there. This is Tate the Gay. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Can't do this without you guys, so thank you. Have a good one. Signing out.